Hello everyone, this side Dr. Abhishek Kumar Singh, Assistant Professor from Delhi University, and today we are going to start our session on a very contemporary topic, digital banking unit. Very recently the government celebrated and established digital banking unit. As you all know, in India we are celebrating 75 years of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and on this occasion the government establishes the various digital banking units, and this is known to be as one of the pilot project in all over India. 75 districts have been selected randomly, and the government tries to know what's the actual result and the output while establishing these units, and what would be the result. So here in this session we are going to discuss about digital banking units, and what are the various schemes and what are the various facility being provided under these digital banking units, and which is licensed by the RBI. And here in this session we are going to discuss about digitization, automation of various products, various traditional products done by the various commercial bank. So as you all know, in 1980s the government and the banks started digitizing, computerizing the measure of the work with the help of the online, with the help of digital, with the help of the computer, so that the as you all know, in the banking the major part of the risk is involved, and major of the peoples are not in a position to avail the banking facility. So with the help of and taking the various initiative, keeping in mind, the government tries to provide and establish the digital facility, and as you all know, recently the government and RBI has also launched the digital currency. In upcoming sessions also we are going to discuss about the digital currency, and here we are going to discuss about the total banking, which is a digitized one, which is a automated one. So starting our session one by one. So what is digital banking? The first one is digital banking. The RBI defines the digital banking as present and future electronic banking services provided by a licensed bank for the execution of the financial banking and other transaction instrument through the electronic devices or the equipments over the websites, mobile phones or other digital channel, which involves a significant level of process automation and cross-institutional services capabilities running under the enhanced the technical architecture and the differentiated business strategy. As you all know that the commercial bank are having a high pressure of non-performing assets, various debt from their customers and other the losses they have to bear. So the government and the RBI tries to reduce these losses and provide the profit and the profit margin to these commercial institutions, these commercial banks, so that they may survive for a longer duration of time, as this is one of the objective while establishing digital banking unit. And keeping in mind that these licensed bank may establish providing the full facility of the digital, like as a depositing of money, the machine is being established, withdrawal of money, the machine established, for depositing of the check. Each and everything is automated and whole of the work is done by the machine. So this is the digital banking. When you enter in that unit, the reduction of the manpower would be there, none of the manpower would be there, the whole of the work is done by machine one. So this is all about digital banking. Now what is digital banking unit? Here we are discussing about the digital banking unit. It is a digital banking unit is a specialized fixed point business unit hub housing a certain minimum digital infrastructure. The whole of the bank is supposed to be a digital one. None of the manpower would be there. The total infrastructure, the total work is being performed with the help of machine. Now the second one as that there will be a delivering digital banking products and the services, as well as the service existing financial product and the services digitally in both self-service and assisted mode. You would be getting the help in an assisted mode with the help of the machine, the robot, and all the robotics work is provided, and whole the traditional product which is sold or which is used by the banks is totally being digitalized, and all the services are provided with the help of these services. Now, why in the news? This is the one of the major part why recently the digital banking unit is in the news, because the government is very excited while launching these units and establishing these units. As I already told you in the beginning that we are celebrating the 75 years of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Keeping in mind, the government establishes 75 district and establishes digital banking units in those district of India. They are the randomly selected, these are the way the government tries to establish as a pilot project. They want to know the output and the relevance of these units and how they are performing. The major objective is also providing the basic and the cheapest financial services to each and every individual of the country, so that they must be avail or they must get benefited while using these digital banking services. So on the 16 October, very recently, 16 October 2022, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, dedicated 75 digital banking units to the nation. As a part of the Union Budget speech to 22-23, the Finance Minister announced the setting up of 75 digital banking units in 75 districts to commemorate our country the 75 years of the independence. Now, what are the objective? Here we are going to discuss. It aims to improve the availability of the digital infrastructure for the banking services. As you all know, traditionally the whole of the infrastructure is the manual one, the whole of the work is done in a physical mode, and there is a consumption of the time, money, each and everything. So with the help of these digital banking infrastructure establishment, the people, the general public may avail these facilities digitally. The second objective is this is also help to accelerate and widen the reach of digital banking services. Wherever you are in the whole country or wherever you are in the whole world, if you are connected with these digital banking units, or if you are the part of that commercial bank, the various facility is provided digitally on your mobile phone or via with the help of internet. Now the digital banking unit would be the digital banking like as a PCOs. As I already told you, the whole center would be there which is totally digitalized, and for long distance calling and the internet cafes for the browsing. The total automated one machine would be there. The machine is going to assist you that press one. As you all know that while you go to ATMs, there is a automated machine is there. They try to communicate with you that press one for this, press two for this. So these are the various facility which is tried to provide while establishing these units. Now setting up of the digital banking unit is the another important step in the country's banking industry journey from the physical to the digital, first to the digital only. Yani overall from physical to the digital and digital to the digital. So overall the journey is from the physical to the digital one. Now the major part and which everyone should learn and must aware about the benefits. Why we have established this? The first one is the cash, the flow of the credit will improve in the rural areas. As you all know, the major of the Indians are in the rural background and they are from the part of the rural India. So providing the basic banking facility is one of the objective of each and every government since independence. So the cash flow, the fund flow and the flow of the credit is been very smoothly run while establishing these units. As you all know, the 75 district which is chosen by the government is a rural one or a semi-rural one where the people must be aware or must get the benefit of these digital banking services. So this is one of the benefit. Now if we talk about the benefit another, the establishment of these unit will cheaper than the conventional bricks and the mortars unit. Definitely, as you all know that the digital is quite cheaper in each and every case. So while providing the services, the bank will also be benefited, and the individual which is coming to the bank physically and spend 1 hour, 2 hour for depositing of cash, for withdrawing of cash. So the total time cut will be there from both the parties, either from the banking side or from the individual side. Now the other benefit of digital units will decrease the manpower requirement, as earlier I told you. For the scheduled bank, they will ensure the steady profit. The profit margin is also one of the quite objective as well as the benefit for the commercial banks, that they are trying to increase the profit with the help of these digital banking unit, since the measure of the cost cutting would be there, salary may not be there, or other facility paperless work would be there. So with these, the government or the banks would be highly benefited, and the counterparty, that the general public, is also going to be benefited. Now, digital banking unit will help the government to enhance the digital literacy. This is one of the most important one, that the digital literacy, the financial literacy, these are the major and the key player which can change the overall scenario of digital banking unit or a learning and literacy rate, that the peoples must be enhanced the the program of digital literacy. The each and everyone, as you all know, that whole India, the rural, urban or whatever, all the people are using the mobile phones. With the help of mobile phones, they try or they explore their world, or they explore their ideas in each and every section. So with the help of these digital banking unit, they must be aware about the digital literacy, and it will enhance their knowledge. Now, the another benefits, according to the RBI, these digital banking units will enable the customer to have a cost effective access. This is the one of the important portion, as the cost effective portion, where the cost will be deduced and it will be benefited to the other part, and enhance the digital experience of such product services in an efficient, paperless, secured and connected environment, with the most services being available in a self-service mode at any time all around. As you all know, as I told you, that for each and every services, the machine would be there and they can avail this service. One of the another benefit, that while in a traditional work, the peoples are time bounded, that from 10 AM to 3 PM the banking services would be available, but with the help of these digital banking units, the services are available 24/7. They can avail their services anytime, anywhere from their accounts. Now, there are the guidelines which issued by the Reserve Bank of India for establishing these digital banking units. For opening the digital banking unit, the commercial bank with a past digital banking experience are permitted to open the digital banking units in the tier 1 to the tier 6 centers, unless otherwise specifically restricted, without needing to take the permission from the RBI in each cases. If you come, there are the various categories which is bifurcated into the different parts from the tier 1 to tier 6. The various cities has been categorized by the Reserve Bank of India. So you have to, the bank should have their past experience, like providing the mobile applications and the various digital work. If you have their experience, they may apply for the establishment of digital banking units. Now, RBI guidelines about the digital banking unit is these units will be treated as a banking outlets. As you all know, that the State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, they have established their outlets. The various banking facility and banking communicator, BCBF, as you all know, these are the earlier has been established, and the various assisted person are there. They are the outlets of the bank, and they provide the basic services which is provided at the bank. So these are the another opening guidelines are there for the compliance requirement for these outlets. Their location would be determined depending on where their business is surrounded from, irrespective of their physical location. Doesn't matter from where you are located. So these are the various guidelines which is provided by them. Now, key compliances of the consideration. What are the various compliances while establishing these units? So there are the consideration which is taken into the consideration while establishing these units. The first one is the data privacy and the storage. So all of the customers' data is being stored, and the data privacy is also one of the part, keeping in mind that data may not be leaked, because they are highly sensitive data are being stored by the bank while the customers are joining the digital banking. So it is the major part to be taken into the consideration while opening these units. Outsourcing arrangement. Once you outsource your services to the another party, so you must have the confidence that they must provide these services very effectively and efficiently. Once they are not going to perform, it will all over hampered the services of these digital banking units. Now the other one is the grievance redressal. In every section or in a management, as you all know, the grievance redressal forms are always available. The section of grievance redressal must be filled by the customers, how they are feeling and how they are responding while availing these services. Now the disclosure and the reporting, the whole of the disclosure must be there, and reporting must be also there, that how they are performing and how many customers they have availed these services as a part of the consideration. Governance, oversight and the mechanism. The third eye must always be there on the working of the digital banking unit. The governance is also one of the part, that the customer must be benefited very smoothly. These units may avail these services. So governance is also one of the part of these point of consideration. Now operational compliances, if any time as you all know that many times ATMs are not working, or these machines are not working in a banking section, or the power cut is there. So overall operation compliances must be taken into consideration, that the work should be performed very smoothly and the result oriented work must be done. Now infrastructure and the resources, each digital banking unit shall be housed distinctly with the separate entry and the exit provision. They will be separate from existing banking outlets with the format and the design most appropriate for the digital banking users. So the people who are from the metro cities or for the from the city class, they are availing the digital services. So keeping in mind the units has been established and the infrastructure which is established as a digital banking units. So these units must be designed in such a manner that people, if they have availed the service of the digital banking, so they may not suffer in any condition. They must feel very easy to use these services. Now cyber security, one of the key point and one of the key factor in this digital world, that once the cyber crime or a cyber attack is there, the whole of the process is going to hamper and all of the customers are going to suffer very seriously. Now the cyber security, in addition to ensuring the physical security of the infrastructure of the digital banking unit, adequate safeguards for the cyber security of the digital banking unit will have to ensured by the bank. The bank should be very much ensure about the cyber security. They keep asking for the OTPs, as you all know that while availing the digital banking or the services, the banks tries to provide the OTPs and various other passwords, scan and other face recognition. These are the security ensured by the bank so that any cyber attack may not be there. So these are the part of the cyber security. Digital banking customer education, the various tools and the methods has been used by the digital banking unit to offer the hands-on customer education on safe digital banking products and the practices for the including the self-service digital banking services. The digital banking unit will provide the booklet to the customers on their website they publish, or through the newspaper they provide the education how to use the machine, how to use the various tools and techniques in the digital banking. So it is the part of the digital banking units that they must educate to ensure that the financial literacy or the digital literacy must be enhanced by the customer. Now digital business facilitator and the business correspondent, I told you that the BCBF digitally now going to work, because earlier the BCBF, the business facilitator and the business correspondent are working manually. Now here it is nothing just like as assisting the person or the customer about the banking services. So they are going to work digitally. The bank will have the option to engage the digital business facilitator and business correspondent in conformance with the relevant regulations and expand the virtual footprint of the digital banking unit. So these units are going to work digitally, provide the services digitally, and the BCBF is also going to be appointed digitally. So overall the infrastructure, the working performance, the grievance redressal, the automation of each and every services is done under the digital banking unit. The customer grievances, there should be adequate digital and the mechanism to offer the real-time assistance and address to the customer grievance arising from the business and the service offered by the digital banking units directly or through the business facilitator or the correspondent. If any problem, any issue, you may write to the bank via email, via chat box, or various other. If you avail or if you feel that the grievance is there, if you are facing any problem, you may avail the services as a customer grievances. Now, reporting or requirement, there is also need for the reporting, that the bank shall furnish the information relating to opening, closure, merger or shifting of digital banking unit online through the central information system for the banking infrastructure. Once the digital banking units perform in a month, or they have to report, or if they are planning to shift their units to another city, they must inform to the central information system and banking infrastructure portal to the Department of Statistics and the Information Management System. So they have to inform, and they must be coordinated with the higher authority while performing such businesses. Now, launching of the digital banking units, the ICICI and HDFC Bank has launched a digital banking unit in a many district of the India, and the digital comprises of the major of the two portion. As you all see, the one of the machine which is working as a digitally, the self-service zone is there. The customer can access the ATM, cash deposit machine, multiple function, and the various other facility by the customers. Now, the digital interactive screen where the customers can interact with the chatbot. Yeah, that I was discussing about. The once if you feel any problem, if you can avail these services in a website, bank's website. If you face any problem, the chat box is always ready, is there. You can avail these services. Now, to know about the products and offers on the mandatory, once you feel any problem, if you have any grievances, any issues, you may write here immediately. As an automated machine, they are going to respond you immediately. Now, the second part as a digital assistance zone, that is the self one, and here the digital assistance zones are always also be there, that the bank officials assist the customers to undertake the services including the opening of the savings accounts, current accounts and others. They will also help the customer to download and start using the mobile banking app as well as the internet banking. So these are the digital assistance zones are also there, that if you want to open your account, the machine would be there. You have to click your picture with the help of these machines. You have to write your name, and each and every facility is a digital assistance zone is also available in that section. ICICI Bank has set up the digital banking unit as a Dehradun in Uttarakhand, Kurur in the Tamil Nadu, and the Kohima in the Nagaland, and the Puducherry. So these are 75 districts being scattered at the different parts of the India, and now the government is trying to know the output and the benefit of these pilot projects and how they are performing. Now the HDFC Bank is also self-service zone. They have established in a different, like if you can see that in Haridwar, Chandigarh, Faridabad, South 24 Pargana and the West Bengal. So these are established at a different parts of the India, and once they come out with the result and the output and what they have reached and what they have targeted, the another establishment or the permanently establishing these units would be decided. Now, let me talk about the one of the digital banking unit as a Jana Finance Small Finance Bank. Is the Jana Small Finance Bank is the only small finance bank selected to launch the digital banking units in India. So as you all know, that is the small finance bank. It is also established by the RBI as a part. Earlier they were the part of the microfinance, and now it's been established into the commercial banking units, and now they have got the license of digital banking units also. This shows how the India is digitizing their services and how they are performing very well, how the India is going to be one of the part of the best digital services provided in the India, and this is the one of the key result of the good governance by our Prime Minister. So the other one is the Bhista in the district of the Bihar, and the Bhero in the Jharkhand, and the Jana Self Finance Bank has also set up the one of the more digital banking unit in the Motipur district of the Muzaffarpur, Bihar. So they have also established various units. Now the services provided by the digital banking unit, the first one is the liability product and the services. So these are the services provided by the various banks as a digital banking units. The first one, you may see very easily that the opening of the accounts, various kinds of accounts being opened. Customer digital kits are there, like a debit card and the other credit card, and these are the part. Merchant digital kit, the UPI, QR code, Bheem, Aadhaar. So these are the services provided by the digital banking unit. Now, earlier there was the liability, now here we are going to discuss about the assets. So, obtaining and onboarding the customers to identify the retail SMEs, symmetric loans, and they may also include a end-to-end digital processing, determining which government sponsored scheme are covered by the national portal. So, these are the services provided from the asset side by the digital banking units. Now, digital services is also one of the part of services provided by the digital banking units. Cash withdrawal, cash deposit through the ATM, CDM respectively, passbook printing, statement generation. So earlier in the traditional part of banking section, so these are the one of the very lengthy process, printing of the passbook, as many of you have suffered with these services in a traditional banking, as the passbook printing and the statement generation is one of the headache of the many customers, that they try to stand in a line for 1 hours and 2 hours, and then only they are getting these facility. But with the help of this digital banking unit, they would be highly benefited. With a fraction of second, they would be getting each and every services, printing of passbook, generation of e-statement available on their tips. Now, the internet banking kiosk includes the facility to provide all the majority of the services available on the internet banking. The transfer of the fund, NEFT and IMPS is also one of the services provided by the bank. Now, the upgradation of the KYC, that is the know your customers, other personal details, lodging of the grievance digitally, kiosk of with the eKYC. The banks has also used now started the eKYC with the help of PAN number or with the help of your thumbprint scanning. You can do the eKYCs also. Now, the digital onboarding of the customers for the various governmental schemes are the services provided by the banks. Now, what are the cons of digital banking units? We have discussed about the benefits, we have discussed about their pros portion, that how they are benefited to the society, how they are benefited to the commercial bank. Now, here we are going to discuss about the cons about these digital banking unit, how they are having a you may call as a disadvantage, or you may call as a cons, that the government or a bank must be keep in mind. There is a low public awareness. So this is one of the cons, that bank and the RBI must focus, and they must try to make the aware to the people, to the general public, about the awareness regarding the establishment or the availing the facility of digital services banking. Now, the another one, as a internet penetration is a lower tier cities is low. Internet penetration is lower, tier cities is low. As I already told you, the RBI has categorized 1 to 6 tier as per the cities and how they are availing the services of the banking. So internet services must be provided to the each and every section of the society in the country. The government also keep in mind that if the people or if the general public is trying to avail the services, the internet connectivity must be there. If a good internet connectivity would be there, the highly they are going to avail these services. Now, there is a threat of cyber security and the data privacy. So the government, as earlier I told you, that the cyber security and the data privacy is very and the critical portion for the banking as far as for the customers, that because the data is overall the key result, the overall assets of the banks, and they have to secure these data very seriously for a longer duration of time. Now, as discussing all this, now we came at the last portion of this session, that concluding the overall digital banking units and what are the various services and all about. There are all the parts of the economy, including the commerce, financing, logistics, next generation solutions are the part of the digital banking units. This will helpful in the reskilling the human capital for the new generation economy. So the people who are not aware about the digital services, they are not enhancing their knowledge about the digitally working, they are not aware about the financial literacy or the other one, these are going to be a game changer for the upcoming generation. There would be highly digitalized services, highly literate digital working, and they are highly digitally financially knowledgeable with establishing or learning these units. Now the last one is the challenges such as the cyber security, data privacy, phishing need to be resolved. Here the word is the new one, as the phishing is the also known as the one of the part of banking services. The when the someone tries to hack the another one account is known as the phishing. When I try to use to unlock the data or unlock the account or try to avail the services of another people account is known as a phishing. So with the help of these, the government or the RBI always used to provide the OTP. So once you confirm the OTP, you would be in a position to avail the services. So these are the part of the hacking of the data need to be resolved if the digital banking units are to reach their full potential. If you want to establish, if you want to achieve your target, if you want to be a successful while establishing these units, the major concluding part is to provide and to be ready for these challenges in the digital banking unit. So with all these, I thankfully concluding this part and I hope that you people must be aware and get the knowledge regarding the digital banking unit. Thank you so much. With all these, thanks a lot.